specifically relating to what you do.
Sure. So I think much of the dialogue that we hear related to climate change is not necessarily focused on cities like Flint or necessarily Midwestern cities like we have here in Michigan. And a lot of the dialogue at times can generate more around cities that are growing or stronger market cities. But I think in cities like Flint and many other Michigan cities, you hear about Detroit a lot, Saginaw as well, we have a phenomenal opportunity to rethink how our cities have been constructed, where people live, how they live, and how we use land. Since we do have such a phenomenal amount of publicly held land, vacant land, as well as vacant structures, I think communities that are facing that challenge, and it is a phenomenal quality of life challenge, also have an opportunity to think about, as I mentioned, where people live and how they live. Many of our communities here in Flint, one of them, were developed in a way that was very spread out and sprawling, very car dependent. And to the extent we are concerned about cities being more resilient, more attuned to the pressures of climate change, and we want to reduce the reliance on automobiles and things of that nature for transportation, I think it's important that cities think not just about how to deal with the current crisis, but how they can use vacant properties and light to try and construct neighborhoods that have more walkability, that are more responsive to needs. In terms of the reuse of land, I think there are also a lot of opportunities to think about how land can contribute as infrastructure. Kevin had mentioned just the challenges that many communities face when they have declining budgets, crumbling, aging infrastructure, declining populations. And in places where we do have larger amounts of land, we can think about how to use that as, for example, green infrastructure, as a way to reduce the amount of stormwater runoff and naturally infiltrate back into the ground. So I think rather than sort of framing cities like Flint and Detroit in sort of a distressed, problematic sense, I think rather they can, with forethought and planning and support, really become sort of the green cities of the future because they have that opportunity with the land and the buildings that they do currently have.